Good morning, everyone. So, this morning, I really feel led to talk about expectations. A lot of, first of all, check out my coffee mug from my daughter. Isn't it awesome? Okay. Expectations. Over the last 2 years, I have learned, and I'm still learning so much about expectations. In myself, for others, the expectations I have of God, of life in general, and how expectations have literally caused so much damage in my life and other people's lives. My expectations of them, my expectations of myself, and this is really a topic I could go on about for 1,000 videos, but I really just wanted to touch on the subject this morning and how if we can learn to begin to let go of expectations. Now, let me just get something straight. Expectations are not the same as goals, hopes, and dreams. They're very different. I believe it is really important to have goals, hopes, and dreams. But I think the problem is when we begin to think of expectations in that same category. Expectations are something we anticipate to happen or to get. And really, it's not fair to have expectations, especially with other people. So, for example, with my husband Chris and I, my expectation, I learned, I didn't even really know I had this expectation until I began going to counseling. And by the way, I love my counselor. I go every week, and I love learning about myself and about how to connect with others. But really, counseling has helped me just begin to understand me, why I think the way I think, why I do the things that I do, all of that. And it's funny, I've been going over a year and there's never a dull moment. We never run out of things to talk about or situations to work through. I believe that it's an ongoing journey and I'm never going to be finished with myself. So literally I could continue to go for the rest of my life. And my counselor is amazing. She is just amazing. And her ministry is definitely God-breathed. And I think that's evident in her patience and just in her energy and her spirit. Sorry for the side note. So, I don't remember where I was, but I know I was talking about expectations. Okay, expectations. So, oh yeah, about my husband Chris and I. So I have this vision because of the life that I've lived and what I've experienced, and I will call that my script. My life is my script. And so in my life, my script, my dad got down on the floor and he played with us and we went to the park and we were very physically active together. And so that expectation rolled over into what kind of dad I thought Chris should be. And when he was a different dad and didn't do all of the things my dad did, I thought that he wasn't as good of a dad. And I thought that I needed to fix him. And don't get me wrong, my husband is an amazing, amazing dad. And his dad is an amazing dad. they just parented differently than what I knew. And so that was different for me. And I had I didn't even know I had them, these expectations, but which led to being let down or feeling let down or disappointed that, Chris didn't always get down on the floor and wrestle with Aiden. He does, but not as often as I think that he should. And so this started to create something inside myself between Chris and I. And when we have an expectation and that expectation is not met the way we think it should be met, we have a letdown. And that creates so many issues that I'm not even talking about in this Glide. So, side note, I love the app Glide for my iPhone. And I glide with these amazing women, and it's like a video chat. Anyway, side note, check it out. So yeah, that's way more than I'm going to talk about in this video. But now that I'm learning to let that expectation go of who I think Chris should be or how I think he should parent, the really, really cool thing is I get to see how Chris parents. And I get to see all of the amazing things that he brings to the table and to our children's lives that I don't. And I would never, ever be able to witness that or experience that, and our children would never be able to experience his personal gifts that he brings to our life if I continue to have this expectation of who or what he should be. Because what happened when I did that, when I had that expectation of what kind of parent I thought Chris should be, is I began to try to fix him and fix his parenting because I thought that I knew because I had 4 younger siblings and I watched them a lot, and I was a preschool teacher for 10 years, so I knew all about kids, and Chris didn't have any experience with kids, so I thought I was helping by trying to fix it and give him all my advice. But what happened in me doing that was I silenced Chris's voice, and I undermined him and made him feel like the parent that he wasn't good enough. And that broke my heart. I'm so sad that I did that. And I didn't even know I was doing that. But that's what expectations do to our lives and our relationships. And so today I just want to remind us and to try to look at where you might have expectations in your life. You can even leave comments and we can talk about the expectations. I still struggle with this. I think that we always will struggle with this for a lot of reasons. We're human and it's human nature, but also society has flooded us with expectations about ourselves, about one another, about our life and our lifestyle. It's just expectation. And when we can begin to learn to let go of those expectations and allow ourselves to just be and learn to allow other people to be who they are and stop trying to fix things and make them into who that we think that they should be, we'll begin to have more peace in our life, and our connections and our relationships will begin to grow deeper and more beautiful because we're allowing one another to be who we were created to be. So that's just my thoughts this morning on expectations. Yeah, it's something I struggle with daily, every moment. So I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on expectations, and if you guys struggle with expectations like I do, I love you all and have a beautiful Saturday.